Meeting called to order. Today is Tuesday, January 21st. It is now 6:08 PM. Town Council meeting is a sewer commission, 1170 Main Street, West Warwick, Rhode Island. Jay, lead us in the prayer.
We ask for the wisdom to make good decisions, to speak with confidence, and listen with compassion, and to work together to create a better way of life for the people of West Warwick. Amen.
Amen. Jay, lead us in the prayer.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call. Council President Goslin.
Here.
Council Vice President Williamson.
Here.
Councilman Messier.
Here.
Councilman Lichardi.
Here.
Councilman Dennison.
Here.
Participating communities, Town of Coventry. Here. Town of Situate. City of Cranston. City of Warwick. Town of West Greenwich. Quorum is declared.
What do you say? Did I hear you say it
We
again?
did.
Yes,
I thought I did.
and this isn't the first one. You usually don't respond to that, but I'm glad you're here. Yes.
I'm gonna call mom. I haven't heard anybody ever say here before. So thank you, Town of Coventry.
This one. She asked if it was voluntary. No comment.
You mean because it's 10 degrees outside and yes.
Minutes of the previous meeting, approval of resolution SC 2025-01, minutes of the November 17th, 2024 sewer commission meeting.
Move approval of the minutes.
Second. Moving second, any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it.
Superintendent's report.
Good evening, council.
Yeah.
So superintendent report for December 2024. The average daily flow was 5.2 million gallons per day. Our max flow was 14.2 million gallons per day, and our minimum was 1.7 million gallons per day. For CBOD removal, we came in at 2.1 milligrams per liter, and total suspended solids were 3.2 milligrams per liter, both below our permit limits. Our phosphorus came in at 0.7, also below limits. Let's see. Sludge, we had 218.7 tons go to Synagro, 368.7 went to the landfill for a total of 587.4 tons for the month. And a note on that is that starting in January, we're trying the new railway system now, which is we're in our third week currently. It's going fine for now. Just we got to figure out how to make it work better for us. You know, it's a new process for us, so it's just a learning curve for us. But we're getting our cans loaded. We're getting them sent to out of state. So far so good.
So are we going to need the landfill anymore? You just said someone for the landfill.
Oh, just for last month, just because we're on the old
Oh.
system. Extreme circumstances only.
Okay.
All right, for sewer backups, we had one in the public line on Pike Street. For odor complaints, we had 0 in the month of December, and also there were no violations at the facility for the month of December, and that is my report.
Any questions for Jeff?
Yeah, but you had said if for some reason it can't go on the train because of that deal, that the Synagro would take it, right? I mean.
They should be able to, yes, and that's why I said in an extreme
Extreme
situation,
yeah.
yes, but normally,
That's
no.
not the plan now.
Correct.
And the new program, as we discussed when we approved it, is a more expensive program. We know that, but we think it will also help with the order complaints that we have.
Help with the odor complaints, help with transportation and disposal that we ran into over the years, so the past couple of years, so yes.
Any other questions for Jeff?
Thanks, Jeff.
Thank you.
Thanks, council.
Industrial pretreatment report.
Good evening and happy new year to everybody.
Hi, Jen.
Okay, this is for the month of December, the industrial pretreatment. Farmera submitted their quarterly report and all was in compliance. We did our annual inspections at the Amgen facility. Again, their facility is spotless and well-run, and they upgraded their pH system to adjust for the odors that were happening earlier in the previous year. So that's working out well. With regards to the private sewer systems, the Queesit Corners that's 300, Quaker Lane in Warwick. They cleaned it and the system is operational in good condition. During the month of December, there were 6, restaurants or food services that we inspected in West Warwick, one in the town of, the city of Warwick. All were in compliance with the regulations. Plans were reviewed during the month of December for 183 Washington Street. This facility is converting an existing warehouse and retail facility into mixed-use buildings with a total of 30 affordable homes, mixed-use studios and 1 bedrooms and 2 commercial units. Plans were reviewed and found to be in compliance with the regulations, and a letter was issued. Plans were also reviewed for 60 East Main. Again, this project involves converting 2 buildings into 10 residential units and 2 commercial. Again, the plans were in compliance with the regulations, and a letter was issued. We did review plans for the new Chick-fil-A on Quaker Lane. The applications were missing some information, and a letter was issued for them to resubmit. The Stop and Go on Providence Street submitted plans. Plans were not consistent with the regulations, and a letter was issued. Finally, with regards to ongoing construction, Flash Car Wash at the center of New England continues construction this month, during the month of December. The separation between the old, what I call the Arpin building it was on James P. Murphy Highway and 4 Energy Way. That conversion to split the building with 2 different sewer lines was ongoing during December, but I can tell you the month of January, that was completed. With regards to Taco Bell on Quaker Lane, construction was completed. Cov in Warwick, construction just began during the month of December. And that's all I have.
And just to, because I know I asked you these questions, the Chick-fil-A is actually up near the showcase.
If this is in the showcase parking lot, there's a couple of years ago, a developer bought what I'll call the front of Showcase Cinema, where the Orange Fitness is, Starbucks. They also purchased Texas Roadhouse. So that, and now there's 2 parcels that are being permitted, or they're trying to sell 2 parcels within that. One of those parcels will contain a new Chick-fil-A in that area.
And Taco Bell is actually in the Lowe's parking lot.
That's correct.
Yes,
So close.
yes. And actually, the Cava Mezza Grill actually is in the front of where Fridays used to be, where, yeah, so just let you know, yeah, that's where all those things are. And Almax used to be right down the street right here, so that's, yes.
We're talking like Rhode Islanders now,
Exactly,
you know?
exactly.
You know, where the house burned down 10 years
Exactly.
ago, that's where we're moving it. But this is, yes, this is a new facility, and it's all part of that complex.
So Jim, quick question, the showcase, line that was giving them so much trouble for so long, that's all done? and
That's been
complete?
correct. They spent a lot of money.
Yeah, I
The
drive by it
pumping,
every day and I would see them working.
the pumping, I don't know, but they pumped for almost a year. But they finally completed it. And that's one of the requirements, this new developer, we've been working very closely with him through the years. So this is not new to us and them. So they are kind of contributing, and what they have, like what Chick-fil-A and the other development has to prove is that the Showcase Cinema has a private pump station. They have to show, number 1, that that pump station can handle the flow, and number 2, that the force main is capable of handling. So those 2 areas have to be evaluated. That information is given to us before we can approve it. This flow then goes into the pump station by the Cardis. And there is a surcharge for any flow going into that station or future upgrades.
But it's actually a good lesson because this developer came to us 2.5 years
2.5
ago, I
years
think,
ago.
to start this process. And typically the sewer part of the program is on the end and causes us some trouble. So yes, we appreciate
They
the
always
fact they
blame
were-
sewers.
Yes, exactly.
Thank you.
Thanks, Jim.
Financial report. Year-to-date operating and debt expenses for fiscal year 2025 through the end of December totaled $4,757,520, which is 50% of the approved budget. Expenses are down $976,000 versus the same time last year. That's due to not having unanticipated breaks in the collection system. So we're off to a good start this year. Overtime for the month of December was $18,059, which is 11% of the budget. Year-to-date overtime is $83,220, which is 52% of the approved budget. And we have a savings of $35,368 in the general wages line item due to a position that was vacant through the first quarter of the year and a couple of employees that have been out without pay. Sludge removal costs through the end of December totaled $472,201. That's 62% of the budget. Fiscal year 2025 sewer usage and industrial collections totaled $4,622,221, which is 58% of the total billed. Prior year sewage usage collections totaled $328,322, of which $31,990 is penalty interest. Year-to-date sewer assessment collections totaled $228,626, which is 101% of what we billed, and cash and investments through the end of December totaled $3,893,889. That's my report, Council President.
Any questions for Tom? Thanks, Tom. You're welcome.
Resolutions, SC 2025-02, contract extension for chemicals.
Move the resolution.
Second. Move second, discussion? Yeah, I'll give an update.
Sure. Just an update. So this is our second year in the contract for chemicals. We sent letters out to all the chemical suppliers asking if they'd hold their prices for a year. And we have Holland Company, Univar, and Board and Remington all said they would hold for this coming year.
Any questions for Jeff? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it.
Resolution SC 2025-03, contract extension for Polymer.
Move the resolution.
Second. Move second, Jeff.
Same thing as the other chemicals. This one's just on a separate resolution, but they're holding their prices for another year. So that's all I have to say.
Any questions? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it.
Resolution SC 2025-04, bid award for the East Natick Rehabilitation Project.
Move the resolution.
Second. Seconded, Jeff.
And refer to this one.
Okay, basically, last month we put out the bids, the lining of the East Natick Interceptor. The recommendation is to award it to National Water Main Cleaning Company out of Canton, Massachusetts. Now, my friend Tony didn't send you this letter, so I will
That would be
read.
my fault. So I apologize.
I will read through this. Backed over him this time. No, but basically there were three bidders. Actually, National Water Main was not the low bidder. They were the second bidder. And when you go through the bids, as you know, when utility bids that we put out has unit prices and has quantities. In this particular instance, the most critical one of the more critical components is the cleaning of the inverted siphon. Just to give everybody an idea of where this inverted siphon begins. It begins at the intersection of Providence Street, just as going down the bottom of the hill, and with that small road, and I apologize, I don't know the name of the small road, but it comes in from there all the way to the wastewater treatment plant, which is over 4,000 linear feet of pipe. That hasn't been cleaned since I first started in 1980. It was put in 1980, has never been cleaned. And that's where a lot of the flow comes from, this treatment plant, as everybody knows. So the unit prices, the low bidder was 39,000, I'm rounding, 39,000. The second bidder was 195,000, and the third bidder was 175,000. So I knew that the first bidder didn't understand the complexity or had a different approach. I did ask both the first and second bidders, give me a detailed explanation of how they were going to clean it. The first bidder was not going to clean it the way it should be cleaned. There is a sump in the inverted siphon. Anyway, the complexity of it is, it's 3 feet deep and full of sludge, and it has a plate on it. The plate has to be removed, physically take it out, reinstall with a new plate. The second bidder was doing it, the third bidder was doing the same thing. So obviously, I didn't want to get into a change order or an argument during the construction phase. Let's work it out now. So my recommendation is to go with, National Water Main on this particular project in the amount of $1,243,250. National Water Main was the company and has been the company that came out at, when we had the problem at Bradford Soap Works, where we had to clean that interceptor. They were the ones that came out on the emergency and lined on Water Street when we had the other emergency. Once this is awarded, we'll be able to, the deficiencies in the line between Water Street and the treatment plant will be taken care of. Also, to let you know, there's another section of line when been doing this for a while. There's flow that goes behind St. Joseph's Church School. Okay, and it comes around by the back end. So remember when we've had odor problems in that area, that line's going to be cleaned as well as part of this. So we're going to address 2 areas here, which I think is very important. It's a critical area, all the flow. It's designed for over 25 million gallons of flow to go through this interceptor. If it fails, last 2 years, town spent $1 million on less than 400 feet of pipe. Here, we're going to replace 2,000 feet, and we're going to clean another 4,000 feet of inverted siphon. So that is my recommendation.
Any questions for Jim? Drano is not an option at this point.
Not at this point, no.
Yes.
So just to make sure everyone understands that the bid that you're suggesting is not the lowest bid by about $100,000, somewhere in that neighborhood. But it is the second lowest bid.
Correct.
Yes.
But it's the lowest qualified bid.
Lowest
Yeah.
qualified bid.
Correct.
Any questions? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it.
Public comment.
Any public comment on sewer? Hearing none. Motion to adjourn.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it. Who wanted these guys?